Be honest. You are standing on the edge of a high cliff, or you're waiting for a train on a crowded subway platform, or maybe you're driving down the highway at 80 miles per hour, and suddenly, out of nowhere, your brain whispers to you, "What if we just jump?" Maybe it takes a different form. You are holding a brand new, expensive phone over a balcony railing, or worse, you are holding a fragile newborn baby, and for a split second, a terrifying image flashes in your mind of just dropping them. You step back in a panic. Your heart races. You clench your fists. Your life is fine. You are not depressed. And you definitely don't want to die or hurt anyone. But the thought was so vivid, so brutally real, that you actually get scared of yourself. Are you secretly a psychopath? Are you losing your mind? Well, take a deep breath and congratulations. You are completely sane. This terrifying phenomenon is experienced by over 75% of people on Earth. The French have a highly poetic name for it. L'appel du vide, the call of the void. But why would our brain, an organ that has evolved over millions of years specifically to keep us alive, suddenly pitch us ideas for our own destruction? The answer isn't a death wish, it's actually a survival mechanism wrapped in a biological glitch. It all comes down to your brain's input lag. Let's look under the hood of your skull. When you approach the edge of a cliff, your built-in security system, a primitive part of your brain called the amygdala, is the very first to spot the threat. The amygdala doesn't do complex math or philosophy. It just screams danger and works at lightning speed, sending a massive alert directly to your muscles. Step back. You physically flinch away from the edge before you even have time to consciously process what is happening. And only a split second later, your rational consciousness, the prefrontal cortex, finally catches up. Your consciousness sees the facts. You just jump back, your heart is pounding, and you are in a state of sheer terror. But your rational brain is confused. It thinks, wait, I wasn't falling. Nobody pushed me. So why did I just trigger a massive panic attack? And to logically justify your sudden animalistic fear, your rational brain invents the only plausible excuse. It essentially lies to you, concluding, I got so scared because I must have wanted to jump. Yes, that makes sense. You never actually wanted to jump. Your brain just misinterpreted its own safety signals. But the call of the void is just the tip of the iceberg. Your brain has a much darker habit of actively trying to sabotage your daily life. Famous American writer Edgar Allan Poe described this exact psychological glitch back in 1845. He called it the imp of the perverse. It's the overwhelming urge to do exactly the wrong thing in a given situation, simply because it is the wrong thing. It's that exact same demon that makes you want to scream a horrific curse word in a dead silent library or during an exam, or the urge to kiss a total stranger in an elevator, or the sudden, uncontrollable desire to laugh out loud at a funeral. Today, psychologists call these intrusive thoughts. Everyone gets them, but the real torture begins when you try to fight them. Here's a quick experiment. For the next 10 seconds, whatever you do not think about a pink elephant. Seriously, clear your mind. No pink elephants. What is in your head right now? A pink elephant. In psychology, this is known as the ironic process theory, or the white bear problem, discovered by Harvard psychologist Daniel Wegner. When you actively try to suppress a thought, your brain splits its focus. One part of your brain tries to think about other things, but another part of your brain, the monitoring system, constantly checks in on you asking, hey, are we still successfully not thinking about the pink elephant? By checking to see if you are suppressing the thought, it forces you to think the exact thought you are trying to suppress. The harder you fight it, the louder it gets. But what if your brain glitches out when experiencing positive emotions? Let's say you see an incredibly cute, tiny puppy or a baby. It is so small, so innocent, and so fluffy that a weird, aggressive desire rises up inside you. You clench your teeth, you want to squeeze it, to crush it. People even say things like, you are so cute I could just eat you up. Are we all secretly predators? Why does extreme cuteness trigger a violent response? In neuroscience, this is called dimorphous expression of emotions. When your brain gets a massive overdose of positive signals from seeing something incredibly cute, it experiences a sensory overload. Your nervous system is literally suffocating from the positive stimuli. It's like a computer overheating. To save you from an emotional short circuit and bring you back to baseline, your brain urgently throws in the exact opposite emotion, aggression. It's the exact same biological mechanism that makes people cry uncontrollably from happiness at weddings or nervously laugh when something terrifying happens. The aggression isn't real. It is just an emergency parachute for your overloaded psyche. It forces your brain to snap out of it and regain control. Speaking of modern brain glitches, there is one that almost every single person watching this video has experienced this week. You are walking down the street and you feel your phone vibrate in your pocket. It's a very distinct physical sensation. You reach into your pocket, pull out the phone, and the screen is blank. No messages, no calls, nothing. You literally hallucinated a physical sensation. This is known as phantom vibration syndrome. And the reason it happens is deeply tied to our evolutionary past. Thousands of years ago, human survival depended on hypervigilance. If you felt a slight brush against your leg in the tall grass of the savannah, your brain had to assume it was a deadly snake, not just the wind. It's better to be wrong and alive than wrong and dead. Today, your smartphone has become an extension of your nervous system. Your brain is trained to anticipate social connections and alerts. So, your hypervigilant brain takes any random physical input, the friction of your clothes, a muscle twitch, or the wind, and misinterprets it as the thing you are anxiously expecting. Your primitive survival instinct has been hijacked by a piece of plastic and glass in your pocket. But the brain doesn't just hallucinate phone calls, it can hallucinate entire environments. Have you ever played a video game for hours, and when you finally close your eyes to go to sleep, you still see the game blocks falling? Or maybe you spent the whole day driving or riding a boat, and when you lay in your perfectly still bed, you still feel the motion of the road or the waves. This isn't just your imagination, it's a recognized neurological glitch called the Tetris effect. Your brain is incredibly efficient at recognizing patterns and optimizing tasks. When you perform a repetitive activity for hours, your brain physically rewires itself on the fly to become better at it. It creates a dedicated neural highway, but sometimes it forgets to hit the brakes. Even when you are resting in a dark room, your visual cortex continues to fire off signals, frantically predicting the next move in a game you are no longer playing. Your brain gets trapped in its own predictive loop. It becomes so obsessed with the pattern that it temporarily overrides reality, forcing you to see and feel things that are no longer there. And if the Tetris effect is your brain getting stuck in a loop, what happens when its recognition software completely crashes? We all know about déjà vu, the eerie feeling that you have experienced a new moment before, but the human brain has an even weirder, more terrifying glitch. It's called jamais vu, which translates to never seen. It happens when something deeply familiar suddenly feels completely alien and strange, and you can trigger this glitch right now. Take a simple everyday word. Let's use the word door. Say it out loud 50 times in a row. Door, 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 door. After about 30 seconds, something bizarre happens. The word loses all meaning. It stops sounding like English. It becomes just a weird, primitive alien sound coming out of your mouth. In neurology, this is called semantic satiation. By forcing your brain to fire the exact same neural pathway over and over again, the neurons literally get exhausted. They run out of energy. The connection between the sound of the word and its actual meaning temporarily breaks. For a few terrifying seconds, you are experiencing the world without the software patch that gives things meaning. You are looking at reality with a crashed operating system. So, what did jumping off a cliff, laughing at a funeral, crushing a cute puppy, and hallucinating phone calls have in common? They prove that your brain is the most powerful vert. But what happens when your brain's virtual reality simulator forgets to turn off? Picture this. You wake up in the middle of the night, your eyes are open, but you realize you cannot move a single muscle. You are completely paralyzed. And then, you see it. Standing in the dark corner of your room, or sitting on your chest, is a shadowy, terrifying figure watching you. People have reported seeing this exact sleep paralysis demon for centuries, across all cultures. But it is not a ghost. It is a severe biological timing error. When you sleep, your brain temporarily paralyzes your body so you don't physically act out your dreams and hurt yourself. But sometimes, you wake up out of order. Your consciousness boots up, but your brain forgets to switch off the paralysis chemical. You are trapped inside your own body. Because you cannot move, your amygdala instantly hits the panic button. And since your brain is still halfway stuck in REM sleep, it takes a literal nightmare and projects it into the real world like a hologram. You aren't being haunted. You are just hallucinating with your eyes wide open because your brain's software crashed during a reboot.